bam bam bam, bailo bailo bam bam ba da da da.
Day 2 of the Leverage Creators and Alpha Setters Mastermind. Today, we went to the Gen Z Club's Entrepreneurship Summit, and there were a ton of different entrepreneurs from multiple backgrounds who are very successful within their respective fields. So I asked them really insightful questions, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Let's get straight into it. So guys, day 2, we are at the Gen Z Entrepreneurship Summit. Semi, how are you doing? Looking fresh, bro.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Swagged out, you're swagged out. Good to be here.
What's the vibe for today?
So we've pulled up today, and I'm hoping that we can get some good deals secured for my boys. That's what I want to see out of today.
Always lead with value and always want to serve. Trust me, it will go very far. Let the networking commence. Ladies and gentlemen, who are we with?
Pokey Banks, baby. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I work with brands, PayPal, HSBC, your favorite banks. Other than that, I also run an affiliate marketing business where I help prop firms in the Forex industry gain clients and whatnot. Also the Gen Z Club where we're at right now. So helping people network and be the better version of themselves.
Austin Okolo, CEO and co-founder of the Gen Z Club. And what we do is host network events for Gen Zs and also connect corporations with Gen Z.
The People's Coach, Coach Klutze, Robert Klutze, international public speaker, international public speaking coach, and most importantly, a man of the Lord upstairs. Let's go, man.
Manu. I run an online jewellery business called Gimme Gold, and we sell jewellery that looks and acts like real gold, but does not cost that to the consumer.
I'm Raul Mahiko. I'm 29 years old. I run multiple companies, started in-person, face-to-face sales, door-to-door. From there, it gave me the opportunity to open up multiple businesses around that sort of space. By the time I was 25 years old, I generated, it's like 100 grand. And then from 25 to 28, I pretty much made everything that I made in 5 years in the space of a year.
I'm Daniel Janadu. I'm a professional footballer, first-class psychology graduate and creative director of Beyond Football.
My name is Junior. I'm the co-founder of Social Pro. It's a social media AI tool that actually helps you grow on social media.
Simon, what's good, bro? How you been?
Really good. I make music.
Well, lead.
So my name is Lee Rosari. I'm the co-founder of Content, where we do YouTube for tech companies.
I wanted to ask you, how have you leveraged your personal brand to see the success that you've seen on social media over the years and also actually monetizing it? Because a lot of creators nowadays, they have all the followers, but they're not actually printing cash.
This is all built off my personal brand, to be honest. I know there's different routes to go into it, but I built Gen Z off my personal brand. I got the attendees to come by personal brand. This week I was on the news. I was on Jeremy Kyle, arguing with Jeremy Kyle about Gen Z. I was on the news this week. From a money point of view, a lot of my brand deals come from my personal brand. So they see me on LinkedIn. I build that in-person connection with them. They know who I am. And I think that without my personal brand, most people here wouldn't be here. Most of my clients wouldn't be here. And I'm grateful for that.
With your personal brand, this is your online CV where people go onto your Instagram, they see what you're about, learn more about you, and then it's easier to network. When I go to networking events, people come towards me. They prove their value to me. Not only that, it also shows how much value you have in the audience because, again, a lot of brands can approach you, you can influence people's lives, and people will pay a pretty penny to get their lives improved by yourself. When you've helped people and given free value, people can see that and then will be willing to put money in your pocket because they know they can learn way more from you.
Okay, this is weird because a lot of people think that I started my personal brand before my actual brand, which is my business. But I actually didn't. I started my business first and developed my personal brand about 2 years later. I was just posting about the behind the scenes, what it's like to run a business, and I ended up growing a little bit of a platform. And the way I leveraged that was by putting my emails out there, putting a lot of videos out there, and making sure I'm hashtagging like niche hashtags, like small business owner and women in business. And then all of a sudden I had banks like NatWest, I've done QuickBooks, like loads of things like that. And I got loads of brand deals through them, and I ended up making a completely separate business from my personal brand as well.
So you guys may or may not know I've got a podcast with my brother Jonathan, Purpose Led. Shout out to John, man. And we were just reflecting this morning on how us building a personal brand online has helped our lives. I mean, as I said to you, I've been able to help make thousands of pounds through that personal brand. Posting online, people know me as a credible person now. So when they see me, they're like, we can trust this guy because he's real. By me having a personal brand, help me to come across as so much more credible to people, which is good. Put it like this, right? If someone was sick of their job, sick of their business, has 0 followers, would you trust them versus somebody who's not as good, but has 20k followers?
But one thing I've really tried to do in terms of strategically leveraging my personal brand is all about branding myself as Mr. Beyond Football. I set up Beyond Football, and the movement is all about raising awareness of having that identity beyond football. Our mission is to ensure that every player who plays football has a second plan A. All across my social media, I've all been focusing on creating that movement, creating that community.
Realistically, without a personal brand, I wouldn't have been able to grow social at all. Because my last business, which was Rapville, it's like this radio tool, I grew its TikTok to 30,000 followers, and that helped me get 13,000 creators on Social Pro's waitlist without spending any type of money. And those 13,000 creators then are starting to convert over, and that's revenue for us. So it's been super important for this journey.
Being able to build a brand off of like what I do and being being the face of the brand that I have, it's really been important, like in terms of opportunities, networking. There's so many things that you wouldn't even expect.
I use personal brand to gain communities. Communities is the main pillar if you want to monetize your income, right? There's millions of SMMAs, there's millions of sales agencies, but what differentiates the big dogs to like, everyone else is personal branding.
I met you, Mahiz, Shuwe, and I was like, damn, you can make money, bro, I'll be honest with you. And at that point I had my first client and I was working hard, right? But I wasn't tapped into how much you can actually scale them, number one. But also, I didn't have anyone around me doing it, so I was like kind of blind. But meeting you guys and then being able to consume your content online, it was serious stuff.
Why is community so important?
Community is everything. I think from a business point of view, it's insurance, right? So like knowing you've got community, at any moment you can sell to them. I think that when you have a community that trusts you, it's like a superpower. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing things, you got to constantly go out, look for new clients, new customers, it's difficult. But when you've got people that are with you no matter what you do, that's a cheat code. And I think for me, community for me is a cheat code. Knowing that I've got people that want to see me win.
I'd love to hear some of your thoughts from today and some of the lessons you've learned.
Super cool, man. I've been to a lot of networking events. However, I haven't really been in a space before where there are so many people from multiple different industries, whether they're online, whether they're offline, whether they're 18 years old, whether they're 25 years old, and everyone's still driven towards learning whatever they need to do to improve their business forward.
Please share why it's so important to be very good at communicating and what tips do you have, because not everyone can public speak, but being able to communicate your point, please share some wisdom, bro.
Wow. I mean, first of all, I'm humbled. Wow. So I tell people all the time, you could be really good at your job corporately, you could be really good at business-wise, but the only thing which will make you properly stand out is your ability to confidently communicate, right? It's changed my life. I've been able to make thousands of pounds from the stage. I've been able to help people make thousands of pounds because of the power of my voice. Now, a quick tip for everybody here who's watching this video, who wants to get to the next level in their career, whether it be their speaking, whether it be their corporate career, whether it be their business, focus on serving the audience. The reason why you struggle speaking is because you're so focused on serving yourself.
For those that want to, become more articulate when they speak, because it's very common for people to say, pause, and they stutter. I'm guilty of that as well in the past. What advice would you have for someone to improve their articulation and just being more confident?
Just pause. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself to speak. Just pause. The ums and the ahs come from you trying to speak at a pace where people perceive you to be good. No, take your time. Remember, when you have the mic in your hand, it is your domain. This is your stage right now. So take your time, man. Pause.
One piece of advice to the younger version of yourself that didn't know anything about sales yet, what would you tell?
You're never going to be great straight away, but you start off to be great. And I guess the biggest problem that most people face is, not just in sales, but in any industry they walk into, is when things don't work out for them and things aren't working well for them, or they're not getting the results they want, or their expectation of their life or their situation isn't where it's at, they just give up. And you just can't do that, man. And for every single person that's spoken today, that's the one piece of advice they've given to everyone. It's just like, whatever the hurdle is, you get around it.
What piece of advice would you have for someone that wants to go ahead and thrive in this creator economy? Because according to Goldman Sachs, it's worth $250 billion and set to double that by 2027. And obviously you're tapping into that exact niche. So yeah, what would your advice be to someone trying to get into the creator economy?
Be intentional about what you want from social media, but also don't think too much, because then you get into analysis paralysis. You just need to start creating, especially if you could just grow your personal brand. It's going to bring amazing opportunities in terms of people that are reaching out to you, deals that are going to come through the door. So there's always a way you're going to be able to leverage an audience. It's a power play, especially when you're starting a business as well. Let's say you're looking to crowdfund in the tech space. You can crowdfund from your own followers. That will give you loads of leverage against investors, against even people that think that you're just not cut out for it, to be honest.
What keeps you going? Like, what is your purpose and that drive to still keep going after it?
I just understand that everything that you have, you can lose all the time. The world is always going to get better. Things are always going to change. If you're not moving forwards, you're going backwards. So I think the drive isn't from like greed or desire. It's from like the fear of losing or fear of going backwards. And there's been certain areas of my life before where I have got comfortable in this sort of business. I thought that business I've set up so well, it can't go wrong. But if something can go wrong, it will go wrong.
What keeps me going and what's my purpose? Well, essentially teaching finance to the rest of the world. When I was in school, right, I didn't learn anything about finances. I was learning about all these things that aren't really useful in today's day and age. But when we all get to the age of 18 and above, we get thrown at, credit card offers, mortgages, taxes, and these things we didn't learn in school. I took that information, I did the hard work learning these things and breaking it down into basic terminology where you can watch within 30 seconds to a minute. Doing that has helped build the UK, build the GDP, and help people network and make more businesses and build value. Because everyone has that power, but you just need to unlock it. You need someone to switch your brain on. And with my why, again, my why is my family, my friends, and my audience. just making it and just showing people that it's possible?
I think that's a heavy question for a 22-year-old. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of just figuring that out. And a lot of us that have been in business early as well, because we focus on our businesses so much, we don't have that time to kind of develop ourselves and develop our own personal purpose. So I think that's something that I'm giving myself time to do now. So I don't know what my purpose is. Who knows?
We have to start off by failing as fast as possible. The faster you fail, the quicker you can get to your wins. But once you get to a point where something works for you, you need to look at someone who's ahead of you and pay for their knowledge. You need to get there, because you're going to be a freelancer if you just work. But if you change your positioning and say, okay, cool, let me get a VA for 300, that will change your life, right? Let me position appointment setters, closers, and setter managers. You need to buy back your time, you know? So that's the source I would personally give. And yeah, just look at people who are winning, emulate it, reverse engineer the process, and then try it for yourself and see how it is.
I'm not afraid to take L's. I'm not afraid to drop the ball. Even today's event, for example, things went wrong. When it does go wrong, I don't really mind as much because I expect it. I think that as long as the L isn't too big to the point where it takes me out, I'm good. So I go into life here knowing that I'm going to forget to do something. I'm going to make a small error, a small mistake, and I'm okay with that. The big ones I avoid, but I know that in the process of trying to keep the big mistakes from happening, I'm going to make a little small one here and there. And because I'm framing my mind to say that I'm going to mess up at some point because I've got so many balls I'm juggling, I'm at peace with that. So if it does happen, I'm at peace with it.
It's all about community. Most of the time, that's what like gets me up in the morning, is like interacting with people. So I think that like in terms of interacting with other creators, but also interacting with people that are also making differences in their communities, I feel like art can be a really valuable like part of the community. Music has to exist in that atmosphere. I just like being around people, good people.
I feel like the will to never stop, you know. So when I see my granddad, for example, my granddad, he's like 70 plus and he's still working. And the reason why he's still working is not because of money. It's because if I don't work, I can't live. You know, as men, we should always want to work. We should always want to get better. So for me, I want to reach my 100% optimal state. I'm never happy where I am right now. I always want to get better and better and better.
What is one piece of advice that you would give your younger self, knowing what you know now, in order to see success at a faster rate?
I think it's every man's innate desire to retire their parents. If you're like someone who doesn't really want to retire their parents, that's fine by you. But for me, if I can tell them you're not going to work tomorrow, that's arguably one of the best things in the world. On a deeper level than that, though, is the fact that we're all going to go somewhere when we die. Heaven or hell. I'm not going to try to say I'm some perfect guy, but I don't think anyone's a perfect guy, right? But you can either say, oh, I'm not perfect, I'm not going to talk to anyone about Jesus, or I'm going to share my love for him, you know? So that's it. So I think those two things, the day I can retire my parents will be an amazing feeling for me. And that's what I'm working towards. If you have that reason why, then it's deeper than yourself. Them dark nights when it gets difficult, you're pushing forward for them and not for yourself.
Find Jesus Christ, man. It might come across as crazy, but find Jesus Christ, man. When I found Jesus, my life changed. Everything starts from that root in which is Jesus. He changed my life. I was somebody who was using my gifts for the wrong things, girls, partying, sex, all that stuff there. I found Jesus. He changed my focus now to really walk in purpose. I've been 4.5 years celibate now because I've changed my focus. I rewired my focus to focusing on one above and focusing on purpose. So to anybody out there who wants to find purpose, find their voice, and find meaning in this world, find Jesus Christ. He loves you. I love you. I'm rooting for you. We're rooting for you. Blessings.
I don't think going faster is necessarily better, and I think it takes time to sit with something and develop the kind of mindset that you need to actually get where you need to get. Like, if you go from £1 to $1 million overnight, you could probably just lose it the next day because you've no idea what to do with it, because you haven't grown with it. So I wouldn't say worry about going faster. I would just say trust the process.
The biggest advice I can give to anybody starting now is research and studying. Everybody's saying the same thing, right? Not many people are innovating. You need to innovate your offer, innovate your client base, innovate everything. Like, innovate, make sure that you stand up from the rest of the competition, because if you're not, you can be finding a way to the bottom.
One thing I wanted to also just prove to you guys, the power of being able to articulate what you want to communicate to people, your value and your personal brand. Cameraman, please show them who's watching right now. This is the power of like just being good at speaking and having a personal brand. And when it comes to being able to leverage your personal brand online, you're able to build a following of over 400k people. If you were to just stick to in person, you wouldn't be able to scale that.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm grateful that you host these networking events. Shout out to you, Gen Z Club, and bro, appreciate you, bro. Proud of you, man. Keep crushing it.
So guys, really appreciate you for watching this video. As you can see right now, we're just doing a little montage of our time at the steakhouse. We had amazing steak at the Heliot Steakhouse inside the Hippodrome Casino. We ended the night with some drinks, high-level conversations, and wished everyone a safe trip back to their homes, because some people flew in just to come to the event. And speaking of that, I would hope to see you at the future events. And if you don't know how to attend these events, join my free community. The link is in the description below. There's more than just events that we do. We help you with your personal brand, winning in the creator economy, and being the best version of yourself. Make sure you check that, and I'm very grateful for you if you've stayed this far in the video. Take care, have a beautiful day, and as as always, stay hydrated, stay motivated, and stay blessed.